Have you ever gazed up at the vast, star-filled night sky and found yourself wondering, what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of all this? Or what am I doing in this vast universe? It's a question that has echoed through the halls of history, a profound mystery that has haunted humanity since the dawn of consciousness. Today, we're not here to give you easy answers. Instead, we're going on an exploration, a journey through philosophy, religion, psychology, and science to unpack this very question. This is about challenging our own assumptions, thinking critically, and pondering the depths of what it means to exist. So, let's begin. First, let's turn to philosophy, the discipline that dares to question everything. The ancient Greek thinkers, like Aristotle, proposed that the meaning of life is found in achieving eudaimonia, a state of human flourishing. He believed we find our purpose by cultivating our intellect, living virtuously, and balancing our desires with reason. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves. But if we fast forward to the modern era, existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre completely flipped the script. Sartre famously argued that life has no inherent meaning. He believed we are born into a universe that is fundamentally absurd, and because of that, we are, in his words, condemned to be free. This means meaning isn't something we discover out in the world. It's something we must create through our own choices and actions. Friedrich Nietzsche echoed this sentiment, urging us to become what he called the Übermensch, an overcomer who forges their own values beyond the constraints of society. This forces us to think critically. If meaning is entirely subjective, does that empower us, or does it leave us feeling lost and adrift in a sea of endless possibilities? Philosophy challenges us to decide whether purpose is a universal truth or something deeply personal. Now let's shift our perspective to religion, which often offers more structured answers rooted in the divine. In Christianity, for example, life's meaning is found in forging a personal relationship with God, loving Him and loving others, as outlined in the Bible. Purpose comes from fulfilling God's will through service, prayer, and living a moral life, with the promise of an eternal reward. Buddhism, on the other hand, teaches that life is characterized by suffering. Meaning emerges from following the Noble Eightfold Path, a guide to right understanding, right intention, and right mindfulness to achieve enlightenment and break free from the cycle of rebirth. Islam emphasizes submission to Allah, where life's purpose is found in worship, justice, and building a strong community, all guided by the Quran. Hinduism speaks of dharma, which is fulfilling one's sacred duty within the cosmic order to eventually attain moksha, or liberation from the illusion of the material world. Here we must critically ask ourselves, do these faiths provide comfort and certainty, or do they ask for faith in things that can't be proven? Religion invites us to weigh belief against doubt and tradition against our own individual journey of inquiry. Next, let us bring our exploration inward and see what psychology has to say about our mind's quest for purpose. Abraham Maslow's famous hierarchy of needs suggests that once our basic needs for survival, safety, and belonging are met, we naturally start to seek self-actualization, the desire to realize our full potential through creativity, personal growth, and peak experiences. But Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust, offered a powerful counterpoint. He founded a school of therapy called logotherapy and argued that the primary human drive isn't for pleasure or power, but for meaning. Having witnessed unimaginable suffering, Frankl famously said, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." For him, meaning could be found even in suffering. More recently, the field of positive psychology, championed by Martin Seligman, introduced the PERMA model. It suggests that a fulfilling life is built on positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment. This forces us to think critically. Is meaning just a psychological construct, something our brains create to help us cope and thrive? Or is it something more transcendent? Psychology urges us to test these ideas through self-reflection and scientific studies on happiness and resilience. Finally, we arrive at science, which approaches this question from an empirical, evidence-based standpoint. In physics, cosmologists like the late Stephen Hawking spent their lives pondering the universe's origins. They suggested that perhaps meaning lies in the very act of understanding the fundamental laws that govern our reality. From the bizarre world of quantum mechanics to the explosive birth of the cosmos, biology and neuroscience reveal that our sense of purpose might be rooted in our brain chemistry. Neurotransmitters like dopamine reward us for pursuing goals, driving us forward, while the study of consciousness explores how our self-awareness gives rise to these big existential questions in the first place. And astronomy constantly reminds us of our place in a vast, seemingly infinite cosmos. When we see our planet as just a pale blue dot, it can prompt us to find meaning in exploration, discovery, and protecting our only home. But science doesn't prescribe purpose. It only describes the world as it is. So we must critically ask, if the universe is indifferent to our existence, does that make our lives meaningless? Or does it actually free us to assign our own significance? Science challenges us to ground our search for meaning in facts, not fantasy. As we've journeyed through philosophy's bold questions, religion's timeless faiths, psychology's internal insights, and science's grand discoveries, one thing has become crystal clear. There is no one-size-fits-all answer to the meaning of life. We've critically examined how all these different fields intersect and diverge, all of them urging us to question, to reflect, and ultimately to choose. But in the end, perhaps the true power, the real meaning isn't found in a final answer, but in the search itself. So, I want to leave you with a final provoking question. If tomorrow you could redefine your life's purpose, what would it be? Hermann Hesse once said, "I believe that I am not responsible for the meaningfulness or meaninglessness of life, but that I am responsible for what I do with the life I've got." That is it for now. Thanks for watching and keep thinking.